You've probably heard people say that podcasts are everywhere now. You've probably heard that everyone's doing a podcast, and maybe you've even thought, do I really need one for my business? And if you're honest, you might have shrugged it off. You might have thought, I already post on Instagram, I already send emails, I already run ads. Why would I spend my time recording myself talking? But here's the thing, 2026 isn't about posting anymore. It's not about being on every platform or chasing every algorithm. It's about trust. In 2026, trust is the real currency. Every business that thrives will thrive because they figured out how to build trust in a world where people are exhausted, skeptical, and completely numb to traditional marketing. And there is no faster, cleaner, more effective way to build that trust than a podcast. Most business owners think they need content. They think they need more posts, more reels, more TikToks, more emails, more anything. Content has its place, but content without connection is honestly useless. You can post 10 times a day and get zero return because people don't remember the posts. They don't feel a connection to you, and they definitely don't trust you enough to buy or work with you. Podcasts are different. A podcast is not just content. A podcast is a conversation. A conversation is how trust is built. Every time somebody listens to your voice, every time they hear how you think, how you solve problems, and how you see the world, they're taking a small step towards knowing you, liking you, and ultimately trusting you. And that's the magic of podcasting. You might be thinking, okay, but I don't have the time. I don't know what to say. I'm not a professional speaker. What if I sound unpolished? That's exactly why a lot of businesses don't start. The fear and friction stop most people before they even begin. But here's the reality. Your ideal clients don't care if you stumble on a word here or there. They care that you're real. They care that you're approachable. They want to know that you know your stuff and that you're willing to lead the conversation. They want access to your thinking. They want to hear how you solve problems. That's all a podcast gives them. Uninterrupted access to your expertise and perspective. You don't need a perfect studio, a perfect camera, a perfect script. You need a space where you can have a conversation, and you need to just start. Starting a podcast isn't about building an audience. It's about creating a consistent platform where people can hear your voice, understand your expertise, and recognize your authority. In today's environment, people are bombarded everywhere they look. There's noise, social media, posts, ads, email blasts, every business shouting the same message in a slightly different ways. Attention is cheap. Anyone can buy attention, but attention alone doesn't convert. Trust converts. People buy from the people that they know, like, and trust. Podcasts accelerate that trust. They give people the opportunity to sit with your ideas, hear your voice consistently, and start recognizing your expertise. After a few episodes, listeners will feel like they actually know you. And that's what builds trust. That's what builds authority. And that's what opens doors. Podcasts are also networking tools. If approached strategically, a podcast can attract ideal referral partners, potential clients, and industry leaders. Unlike cold outreach or impersonal emails, a podcast creates a professional context for connection. You're offering people a platform to share their expertise while positioning yourself as a leader and connector in your space. Even if the listeners or guests never become direct clients, the podcast can create opportunities for introductions, partnerships, and expanded influence. That ripple effect is difficult to replicate with traditional marketing methods. Time and consistency are critical. Podcasts are not magic. You still have to record regularly. You still have to engage thoughtfully. But unlike most marketing strategies, the work you do compounds. A social media post is gone in a day. A podcast episode lives online for months, even years, creating opportunities for new connections, organic search, and ongoing engagement. Because people listen to podcasts while they're commuting, exercising, or completing everyday tasks. You're engaging with them in a way that passive scrolling can never achieve. You become part of their routine, their mindset, their decision-making process, and that is extremely valuable. One of the biggest advantages of podcasting is repurposing. A single 30 to an hour-long episode can fuel social media clips, email newsletters, LinkedIn posts, blog articles, and even lead magnets. That's efficiency and scale. In 2026, efficiency and scale are everything. Businesses that leverage one conversation into multiple touch points dominate because they're consistent without burning out. Competitors who chase trends, post daily, scramble for their ideas rarely achieve the same level of authority or trust. Quality is more important than quantity. You don't need thousands of listeners to see results. Even 50 to 100 highly targeted listeners per episode could transform your business because those people matter. They're your ideal clients, your ideal partners, your ideal referral sources. Starting small and growing strategically is enough to build momentum if executed consistently and with purpose. So here's the simple framework to start. Identify your ideal client, understand the questions that they have, and record episodes that address those questions. Invite guests who can provide valuable perspectives and lead conversations that provide actionable insights. Keep it consistent. Don't chase trends. Focus on clarity, authority, and value. That formula works far better than gimmicks or overproduced content. The key takeaway in this is if you're serious about growth in 2026, if you want to open doors, build relationships, and create authority that converts, you need to start a podcast. It's not just an experiment or a side project. It's the fastest, most sustainable way to earn trust, expand your influence, and generate opportunities without relying solely on traditional marketing channels. People are ready for real conversations. By leading those conversations consistently, you position yourself as the authority and the connector in your market. So start today. Pick a topic. Begin recording. Invite a guest if you want, or speak directly to your audience. Don't wait for perfection. The only way to build trust is to show up consistently. Over time, you'll see doors will open. Clients will come to you instead of the other way around, and your brand becomes a trusted voice that people seek out. That's the reality of why every business needs a podcast in 2026. Trust is the real currency, and podcasts are the most effective way to earn it.